Hello everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. While we're waiting on these catalogs to drop on January 7th, 2025. Can you believe it's going to be 2025? I still can't believe it. Anyway, while we're waiting for these, we're also waiting for a whole bunch of online exclusives that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with. And I'm getting confused which things are coming in the new catalogs, which are coming in the online exclusives, so I have to keep checking, but I will make sure to post all the links and prices and everything for you so you can find things. But on January 7th, the Everyday Arches bundle is going to be available. And I showed you this last week or the week before, and I said I'd be doing some projects with it. So they are fantastic. I love them. You can get just the dies if you want, a set of 10. I did them in all colors so you could kind of see how so nicely they layer together. I found some other arch dies online from other companies, but they weren't stitched. And I really, really like all these tiny, let me hold it up. See all those little dots? I hope you can see those. Tiny, tiny, tiny little dots around every little bit, which I love, and they layer perfectly. So nice. So it's a set of 10, 29 for just the dies. The stamp set is 21, and then when you buy them both together, they always give you that 10% off bundle, but it's 45. This is the stamp set. I say if you like the sentiments in here, it's really nice to have some that match all the arches. So I always print mine out on vellum when I get them for something like this, because you want to be able to see which ones match which ones, right? So for all of your arches, every time I'm creating with these, if I grab one of these, I can say, oh, okay, that one will go on the inside. This one could go on the outside of it. So I just keep these in my stamp case just to see the sizes of things. Look how cute, reach for the stars. And of course, this is so great for graduation or traveling or anything. Also, it's got airplanes, it's got a balloon, it's got birds. So it's a nice stamp set. So if you like what this says, it's definitely good to get both because these are already curved that way. And just so you have an idea of the size, this is a quarter sheet, right? A regular A2 size card size. You can see how big that is. It matches it. Well, let me just use this one so you can see better. There. So the largest one is quite large, right? So you could also do it this way. But they're really nice for layering on the cards. All right, this is the first one I did. You are a ray of sunshine. We're going to create some rays in there and then add some designer paper. Look how pretty they are on the inside too. I don't use blueberry bushel much, but I love it. It's gorgeous. And this designer paper, this is the Bloom Impressions that you get free during celebration in January. January 7th, I think that starts. So if you spend $60, for years it was $50, and this year they changed it to $60. If you spend $60, you can get a pack of this free. It's 12 by 12. 12 sheets. It's a nice big pack and it's very pretty. It's got all kinds of florals in it. So I cut one of the arches out of here ahead of time, save that so we can use it on the inside. Now this one right here is a couple steps down in size right here. So I skipped a couple sizes just to give a nice band of the blue poking through, cut it with another one. And when you cut these two together, what you'll want to do is put them on your paper, obviously cutting side down, and tape them with washi tape or something temporary because you don't want them to shift around when you're cutting and then you end up with a crooked window. So you can cut them both together, but make sure you tack it down. Even on the magnetic, they can still kind of float around a little bit. All right, so this one is going to go here. And if you wanted to, you could stamp this one and just put it inside here, but I did another one that's slightly bigger so that I could stamp it and make the rays and then just kind of mount it behind there. So let's do that part. I took a piece of vellum and I just cut a little sun ray out of there. Just a sharp point. It's about 1/2 of an inch and up to the point, and that's gonna create my rays. This circle is 1 3/4, but honestly, whatever fits well down here for your sun. So that'll just kind of poke through. And then I just took my piece of vellum or copy paper or masking paper or whatever it is you want. I start right in the center down to my sun sponge dauber, or you could use the brushes, daffodil or curry. I'm using daffodil. Starting in the center and just burnishing that ink in there. That's it. Making my rays. Okay. And then I'm skipping a little bit and doing the same thing. So making sure there's a little bit of space in between each ray, like that. It's better if you go up instead of back and forth too much because you can bend that vellum, but that's what I did. I went all the way around. Now, if you have one of those old stamp sets that we used to have that had the rays on it, good for you. You can use that. Or if you have a mask or if you have a stencil or something, that'd be great. A little Wink of Stella is kind of cool too. I also took the sponge dauber, what ink was left on there, and just did a little gentle glow, like around the sun. Just kind of coming up, not too much. I kind of like the white in there for the starkness of it. And I'm just adding a little bit of tape or glue dots or dimensionals. You could make it dimensional and pop it up and then just cover that up like that. Now, you want to stamp it first before you do that. Oh yeah, we don't want to stamp it yet. Okay, let me fix this. So we need to stamp the Your Ray of Sunshine. And while it seems very easy to do, there's a little bit of a trick with it. Because you're cutting the window, there's a little bit of variance of where that hole is. There's also a little bit of a variance with these photopolymers, right? So although they're stretchy, sometimes when we put them on our block like this, we could put them on in a whole different angle. And they'll be all cattywampus, right? So we need to make sure that it matches the arch that we created. So before you put any ink on here and you make sure it's nice and clean, you lay it down on the place you are going to be stamping. And make sure everything is lined up. And if you have like something, you kind of poke it down just to make sure, move it around. They stick because they're photopolymers. And then take your block and mount it and then stamp it. And that really, to me, is the best way because it's very hard to get it perfect every time. If you're just stamping it like this, it's easier, right? But you still want to lay it down and make sure, because the photopolymer can move just a wee bit, so we don't want it to be moving around. That color is just gorgeous. Okay, and remember the deeper colors take a little longer to dry, so be careful to glue it down after it's dry. And then you can put the whole thing together. There. By making that a little bit bigger too, as long as it's in the center, you're good. So then added that, added my bling, and then on the inside, use that extra piece right here. So I like this card a lot. It's just happy card, happy card. Now there's some pretty ombre glitter paper. They call it glimmer paper, but it's glittery. It doesn't shed, which is nice, but there's 3 different colors of that coming out with the online exclusives, which made me think of rainbows. And I thought, well, look, we can make rainbows with the arches. So if you don't have rainbow dies, it's kind of a fun way to extend what you have. Look at this confetti. This, you have to add this to your list. How often do I say that? Not that often, because this stuff, this bokeh, the bokeh sprinkles here, I mean, oh my gosh. They did really good with these, I have to say. You do have to glue them down. I get it. But what I did is I took all three of these papers. You can see exactly what I did. I took the largest one and I went off the edge. I don't want to waste all that, right? So I cut this off right here. But then I also went two sizes down, like that. So I taped those together on my paper. So it would look like this, actually. That one's already done, so like this. So skip a size, so you've got a nice big rainbow, an arch there. Taped them down and ran it through. Now don't get rid of that piece because you're gonna wanna see what I do with it next, because I took all of these and made something else. So anyway, I did that on all of those, all three colors in different sizes, kept staggering it down, and then just glued them down, trimmed them off, and then I added some clouds. These are from Bright Skies, the dies, but whatever clouds you have. And then this Oh Happy Day came from the new ephemera that's coming out. And this one down here, they have a bunch of black and whites, which is really awesome. I love the black and white, and I don't always do it because it means I have to white emboss with powder and a heat tool. These are already done, but I took the Oh Happy Day and colored it in with this freesia color and put it on one of those Memories and More cards. This confetti, I'll show you my secret for doing that. And if you've been with me a while, you've seen me do this, but this really works well. When you have your card done and you are ready to sprinkle confetti, and there's always that moment of, oh my gosh, where do I put it? Now this one has a lot on it. This is going to my niece. She's going to love this. But you take your confetti or your sequins or whatever it is, and you just drop them. Just drop them. Then you edit. So you can imagine your card's all done and you say, okay, I'm gonna take out that one, I'm gonna take that one out, and take that one, because it's the randomness of the sparkle confetti that looks so great, right? So you've got that down there. Then all you have to do is grab your glue, pick this up, put a drop of glue, and put it back down. So you're not really having to think about where stuff goes. You're like, oh, a couple here for balance, whatever. Just throw it on there, edit a little bit, and then that's your confetti. That's your sprinkles. And you can do as little or much as you want. In this case, I wanted to do a lot because she's sparkly special. I'm adding these to my shares also, the product shares I'm doing for the new catalogs. So everybody will get 1/5 of a container. So you're gonna love them. You're just gonna love them. So what the relief that was left from all of these that I saved, this one, and this one. So by adding it to the bottom of an arch, I've created sort of a fun looking oval, like a modern oval. So the flowers I added on this one are from the Memories and More cards, but they're the ones that they have every year. These are 3x4 and these are 4x6, and they're all printed, and then there's a bunch of stickers that come in it, and I used these tulips right in the center. So I'm gonna use up this one next and make a smaller one. So I've already stamped You Are a Ray of Sunshine in black. And look how that fits perfectly because it's cut right out of there. So you can just add it on. So because it matches each direction and it already has the stitching in it, we can just add it and make it as long or as short as we want, and then just trim off any little extra. So I'm gonna like come in here and just trim off this little bit that's sticking out the bottom, right there. Isn't that fun? And that's what I did on this one. I just moved it up so it fit that. So on this one, to make one size down, I'm gonna use this daisy right here, and I can just stick it on there flat, but if I wanna pop it up, everything is sticky back here, and it's good to take that sticky off. Just use your embossing buddy, or a little bit of baby powder if you have it, or cornstarch or something, and that takes all that sticky off. So when you want to add dimensionals, You don't have to fight them. Now this color is kind of a freesia. So I'm going to add this here, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of freesia into the flower mix, just to kind of coordinate it a little bit. Not on all of them, some of them. And this just sort of brings that color in. And then this one, I'm not sure what paper I'm going to do with that, but I kind of like that. And then I'd still add a little bit of ribbon on it. All right, let's try a little of this white ribbon around this way and see how that looks. So if I add a little bow over here, and then maybe I can just add that off to the side. This gingham comes from some green and yellow 12 by 12 paper that's coming. And this one, this paper, you're not even gonna believe where I got that one from. And then pop that up. It's good. It's okay. This is still a little strong for me. I got to play around with the layout on that, but I love that. I love that. I'll play around with the layout on this one. So fruit salad is another 6x6 designer paper pack that's coming out in the Celebration catalog. And I probably would never have gotten it, but I love getting things free. And always, always, even if you're not a fan of fruits, which some of you are, some of you love all the fruits, and some of them are really cute. And pears are great for anniversary cards, obviously, to being a great pear. But the back sides are fantastic. Even if you look at it and go, I don't want any fruit, look at all these. Look at the back. Look at these. Really great patterns. Look at that one. They're great. So I just say, you know, get the free paper. Free paper is always good paper. And then after I open this pack of paper, look how great that would have been on here. I probably can't take it off, but can you imagine this on top of here? It would be gorgeous. So, all right, one more. This set I showed you briefly called Shadowed Stamps. It's a standalone little set of 4. It's just got, it's rubber, and it's just got 2 stamps and 2 sentiments. So it's just a little set, $20, solid stamps. And I wanted to see how they would look with the arches, and they match perfectly. What's great about them as a companion set is that the arches come here. This is a little bit short, and it leaves just the right amount of room to stamp one of these little just a note or thank you. So it's really sweet. I did this one in balmy blue, but I did this one in black. So I did gray. I actually stamped it in black, and it has like a, I don't know if you can see, it has a texture to it. So it's, you know, it's not just solid, which is nice. So I did it in black, and then I colored it in with Granny Apple Green and Real Red. And then I stamped this in basic gray, and then added basic gray and olive and a little bit of this plaid paper, this timeless plaid that comes out in the mini catalog. So, and I added a little bit of the clear glue on the top to make it shiny. I made a little note card, 3.5 by 5. It still mails, still a legal size to mail. It's just a little card. So this is a nice, sweet little set, and I like the square too, but I love this arch that matches. So in this one right here, I went a size larger, which I kind of like better. And this one, I went closer to the edge. It was a little bit harder to line up. So I would say go one step bigger on this one. So that's it for me for this week. I'll post the measurements for you. And as we get closer, I'll make sure I post all the links for everything when they come available on January 7th. Make sure you sign up for the product shares because those are going to be really, really good. You can get a little bit of everything. I'll put the link below in the description. All right, we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.